The best thing about USA Hockey is the continued drive, passion, and desire by volunteers all across the country to make the game better, to welcome new communities to the sport and share all the great things about hockey with new audiences. And we've seen certainly the evolution and growth of the game at the girls and women's level for many years. People want to see things continue to get better and to grow and advance the sport, and I think that's what makes us smile the most, because those of us that are hockey enthusiasts know what a great game it is and all the value it brings to families and communities across our country. The late great Walter Bush, who was a former president of USA Hockey, was the driver to get women's ice hockey in the Olympic Winter Games, and it was first contested in 1998. The Olympics really, and the visibility that the Olympics brought in 1998 to the women's side of the game really helped it tick to the point it is today. I mean, and we have over 100,000 girls playing hockey. The transformation has been amazing to see, and certainly the collegiate game in women's hockey in the United States has really helped be a driver of elite level talent, and now the PWHL, we see that, but really the traction started significantly with the 98 Olympic Games in Nagano, which the U.S. won gold, by the way.
You know, we talk about Title IX, and Title IX, in terms of a federal rule, it's not just a rule, it's really a vision, and it's a vision on how we provide equity in sports for women in terms of participation. And you're right, it goes well beyond this tournament. Already with our women's hockey team embedded over in the Nexus Center, I see the 8-year-olds, 9-year-olds, 10-year-olds who are there for youth tournaments, and then they see our women playing, and immediately you see the like of one saying, I want to do that. And then they see the name Utica University, and I got to admit, it's the best billboard in town. And they think, wow, so this is part of Utica University. And I'm not going to dissuade them of that. So for young girls to be thinking about what their future could look like 10 years later, and to know that our students are role models for them, is one of the most flattering, grateful things that I could have in my career.
Just seeing like the USA team, watching them play, it kind of sparks some creativity in how you can add it into your game. We're very accommodating here, especially with school. Usually we're on the ice at 6:30, 7 this time of morning, and so, you know, the kids that have to run off to classes just hop off early, go to class, and get on with your day. But I think the academics and the hockey here is really high end, and I'd recommend it to anyone.
Obviously watching, you know, the A division of that tournament is exciting. It's an unbelievably high level of play. As far as team play, puck movement, offensive structure, but just watching anyone at the highest level is exciting. And so for our players, yeah, getting to see that certainly helps them grow, helps them develop as players, seeing the best. Obviously, you know, we were also fortunate that prior to the start of the tournament, some of our players got to scrimmage with the Chinese team, and that was exciting just to be able to see where some of them stood up with world-class players, and they certainly more than held their own.
Yeah, I think it's great to see a level like that, and to know that these men watching the game too are just as impressed as the women. I think it's great as a young girl who was looking up to Hillary Knight and players like that, to see men now be like, wow, Hillary Knight is awesome. So I think it's great to not only be impressed, but the whole community be impressed as well. I think the level of play was amazing. I think it was great to have a bunch of local girls see that high level of play just right here in Utica. For myself especially too, it was really inspiring to see girls I've played with and against on a stage like this. And I know that I've seen little girls at the mall or around town just being so in awe of these players at this level.
I think it's going to be a tremendous advantage having had the Worlds here. Just had a recruiting call last night with a player from Florida. She's already familiar with our facility because she watched the Worlds on TV. She's excited about coming out for a visit. She already has a little bit of an idea and a little bit of an expectation before stepping on campus about the facilities. For us, for a long time, you know, the hardest part of recruiting was getting kids to really consider us and come and visit and check it out. And once kids have come here, even prior to Nexus, you know, they wanted to come to Utica. It's a great town, and they wanted to play here. It's a great program, and it's a great school. But I think we're now on people's radar earlier in their process, and that's going to do nothing but help us build a stronger program here.
The Nexus Center draws great attention, I think, especially with having the odd be where all the games were and breaking some records. I think that was awesome, and there's no way you can miss the Nexus Center. Beautiful new buildings, and I think seeing those facilities are a great way to have those young girls look up and see that there's beautiful state-of-the-art facilities, not just at the D1 level, but D3 as well.
It's more than just hockey. In fact, one of the great benefits we had from this particular tournament was the opportunity for Utica University on campus to host the Women in Sports Forum. Now we have 500 high school, grade school students from all throughout this region come to Utica University, and not only that, but experience a game here at the Adirondack Bank Center. Now they're thinking about, what are the career opportunities? What can I be doing? And it's more than just hockey. It's sports management, it's sports medicine. There are so many different avenues that students can follow, and this type of a tournament in this type of location exposes you to everything.